Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are now live in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters here, Sportswire Radio. And our guest here has had his own unique journey in the world of wrestling. It's taken him to some different places over the past several years, but it's most notably taken him to a company that a lot of people know in the Pennsylvania independent wrestling circuit. PWX, and boy, do they have some big shows coming up. And he was just a part of one, and now he's going to part another one coming up called Meltdown. It could be maybe right before Labor Day weekend. Maybe it's the last one of the summer. Maybe it's not. But he's going to talk about that. And he's going to talk about what happened where he was supposed to have wrestled a friend of the show that's been here a few times in the DJ of Sportswire Radio, the dirty white boy himself, Andrew Lovelace, the once upon a time be-all, but they weren't wrestling each other. It turned into a tag team match, and then there was kind of an ending there. Well, I'm still kind of confused what happened there. Maybe the guys will talk about that here and some, and he'll talk about some other things that are on his mind. He'll talk about, I don't know, what his goals are. He'll talk about some moments that stand out. He'll talk about a whole list of other things here that I'm sure you're going to certainly want to tune into for this one here. Now, I know since our guest hasn't been here before and he hasn't quite gotten a chance to hear that introduction, I know that some of his peers have gotten them. I know Andrew Lovelace has gotten them a few times. I know other guys in the Pennsylvania independent wrestling circuit have gotten it. And I know that other guys that have gotten it on this platform that he's probably watched. But it's now time to give maybe, let's say, a Here Comes the Hammer like introduction when it comes to our guest. And I'm going to try and do my best considering he's got that, hammer there, and he might want to put the hammer down on me, almost kind of like, Hammer and Hank Aaron. And then there was this guy named Hammer with the baggy pants, but he doesn't quite wear the baggy pants, this guy. I would certainly say it's more like the workman boots. I don't know what they call workman boots compared to baggy pants. But since we are starting a busy night here on Sportswire Radio, it is time to give our guest that introduction that he's been waiting for, the world's been waiting for, and most importantly, yours truly has been waiting for. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it here on Sportswire Radio, the only platform where all wrestling matters. And I'm about to introduce our guest, and just maybe, you might want to say, blow the roof off here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters. So let's get to it. So with without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one sports show. Simply put, you might want to say, here comes the hammer. His name is Maxx Double X Strong.
Yes, I've been waiting for that for a long time.
How are you? How you doing tonight? How's it going?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Let me know. I'll tell you actually when I'm off the air how my voice is, and we'll go through. But I do this every night. I've done about like 107 consecutive nights in a row, sometimes 2 and 3 times. So at this point, you get used to it, and it's another night in the books on Sportswire Radio. But obviously, good to be with you. There's a lot to talk about current events. I'll put up some matches. I'll talk about some things upcoming in your world. And, what's on your mind right now for those that are listening and watching to start things up before we fast forward and go back to this past weekend and maybe talk about a familiar face and a friend of the show.
Well, first thing on my mind is, are we sure this camera is big enough to catch the largest arm from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, moved to the Steel
Yeah,
City?
yeah, you definitely, yes, that's big
Okay,
enough.
all right.
We're on
Well,
the
then we can continue.
we're on 5 different social media platforms. I'm on the internet radio. Yes, they can definitely see that, and I'll get to the chat when the peanut gallery builds up a little bit. Yes,
Oh, all right, all right. Well,
yes.
hello to all you out there in the interwebs. You know what time it is, right? It's
It's
hammer time,
it's
baby.
almost 7 p.m. Yes, it's definitely it's hammer time for sure, and we appreciate that coming on here. And I guess we'll set the tables first before I go into the match, and we're talking about which was supposed to be a one-on-one match, but turned into a tag team match. And you were supposed to have wrestled a guy, Andrew Lovelace, who's no stranger to the show. And I mean, what were you expecting, and maybe was it what you wanted or what you hoped before I put the matchup on the screen?
Well, I can't say it was what I planned for. I can't divulge all my plans, but I had big plans for the night, and me and Lovelace were in the middle of
Did
a
it include
grueling
that
match.
thing you've got there right now? Did it include that thing?
What thing? This thing?
Did it include that? Yeah.
You mean old Miley?
Yes.
No, Miley Cyrus. I mean, she was a distraction in that one. Kind of. I had control of stuff. Lovelace was kind of trying to get in my ear a little too much, so I had to get him.
Was he
Off in
trying
the
to
corner.
spin some music on you? Was he trying to play some house and dance music, which probably you wouldn't have gotten into much, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
he was definitely getting a beat going on, like some, and I was like, "Come on, man!" Yeah, so you got to every once in a while, like a kid, you got to give him something shiny to distract him a little bit,
Well, I guess we'll find out on that. But okay, so we'll certainly get into the match, and I do want to say hello to people out there. I see some familiar faces and everybody else in between. So I'm actually going to pull the match up. So we'll do that here shortly. So, and for those that are listening and watching here, if you'd like to follow Mr. Hammer himself, I've got a bunch of banners in the meantime. You want to check him out? He's on Instagram. He's on TikTok. He's on YouTube. He has a Facebook page. It's a personal page, another page. But I figured in the interest, if you really want to hit him up, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, check out all that great stuff. You have no doubt you can definitely follow him. And we'll look forward to seeing what this match has. I've actually watched the match already. But for those that are on here, we'll obviously set the tables now right in front of me. So, okay, so let me share the screen. That's the beauty of technology. So now it should come up here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we're going to put this up right here. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we have this here. So for those that are listening and watching, we'll turn this down. We'll fast forward a little bit in the interest of time because I got a lot of things I got to get to with you. So we see Andrew Lovelace coming out, and you're about to come out here shortly. And interesting that you come out to some YMCA, huh?
There seemed to have been some technical difficulties with my music there. My song is about being a man, and it's written by men. But
yes, men that apparently seem to have, they had some interest in men. Interesting, right?
Interesting. Whoa! Now, that, like I said, there was some technical difficulties. Over there. I'm not in charge of the truck or nothing.
Supposed to have come out to.
Yes. Mike's song is actually by DVDA. It's called "Now You're a Man," and they started it, and then, like I said, there must have been something wrong with the track or some technical difficulties. Seems to happen a lot to me, but like I said, I'm not up there. I can't. A man can only do so many jobs at one time.
Do you think that Andrew Lovelace had anything to do with that, considering he is a DJ and would probably know exactly how to figure a way maybe to manipulate or alter the particular track and such? Or not?
I think he would be capable of that, but to be intelligent enough to be that devious, I don't know if that's in him. I don't know. Are you trying to maybe sow some seeds of dissension, huh?
Well, I mean, at this point, you guys are supposed to be having some dissension because you guys are actually supposed to have been scheduled in a match, which was advertised all over your TikTok and social media these past couple of weeks. And we're sort of going to see some of that, but it'll eventually turn into something else, which the audience will see. And it was funny. I was talking with you off the air, and my first impressions was, is RJ Carnage the referee? And then I looked back like a third time. I'm like, okay, that's not quite RJ Carnage. I was going to say, boy, RJ Carnage is refereeing. I guess maybe he's maybe he figured the wrestling business inside the ring wasn't what he hoped for. But no, actually, it's not RJ Carnage. But we see Loveless and yourself gearing up or about to gear up. And you are kind of the two polar opposites, you might want to say, considering attire and maybe how you guys both come across, more or less. I don't know if that's something you'd agree with, but that's what I'm
100%. That's why we started this project. I'll tell you what, back in PWX, there's only one person there that creeps me out more than Loveless, and that's the Bone Daddy, Silas McCarthy. But that guy is a whole.
Okay.
Yeah, he does his thing down there. Like I said, I try to stay out of people's stuff in the back, but like Loveless, I mean, anytime we go out anywhere, as anybody's around, you see him in public, and I mean, just look at him.
I haven't seen him in public, so I wouldn't. I've only seen him here on Sportswire, I think 3 times.
You're one of the lucky ones. I'm telling you. He to call him an embarrassment in the beginning. I don't want to, but yeah, the boy needed some help, so I took him in for some guidance, and we're working on a program together, which I do believe we are ready to debut the episode 1 live today on the stream.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. It's interesting here. I must have the link, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
We'll come back to that for sure. I'll watch the match for a little bit. We'll see the episode here in a little while. But so
yeah, we overtalked about the genius that was going on in there.
It looked like you were about to win a match, and it turns to win a whole completely different match, huh?
Yeah, they just throw it out on us. Me and Loveless had a plan to, get one over on them guys there, and we were sticking to the plan, and then all of a sudden these Mortal Kombat cutting floor, Kmart fucking versions out there. Excuse my language.
That's okay.
We have Nightwolf and Liu Kang over here. I don't know where they come from, but they start accusing us of not putting on quality entertainment for the fans, and they said if they want to fight, we can fight them.
Now, so why do you think that they implied that? Was it because of how you guys started the particular match, or there's something else?
I don't know. We were talking over that part. I must have missed it. We might have to. I forget. My memory's not so good these days. But I believe we had a barn burner of a match planned for the night. But obviously, things don't go to plan sometimes.
Well, we'll watch some of it. We'll certainly fast forward to it. And I actually do have the first episode, which, as a matter of fact, I'll actually play it after this match because I do realize I have it synced up. So that's the magic technology. So talk to me about your opponents here. Most of this audience is not going to know who these opponents are, with all due respect. So tell me about these opponents for the audience.
Okay, so we got Dakota Orion and Thunder Pikachu, Thunder Bear is his name. They must have. They were. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I can't take anything away. They're both very tough competitors, and I don't want to give away anything, so you guys can continue watching and enjoy. But this is definitely a hard fought match, and these guys, I mean, they held it up. I even had to take my union mandated lunch break during this match. It was definitely a tough one.
I didn't know the irony of that, because in wrestling, usually they actually say that wrestling's the one sport that's like the anti-union, and yet you got a union break in a wrestling match. We know in wrestling there is no union. That's interesting.
Yeah. I was part of the labor union back in the factories, and my representative just kind of stuck around with me. And
have those in Pennsylvania, or am I missing something?
Oh yeah, we were still the powder metal capital of the world.
So that's maybe how you got the Miley there, huh?
That's I mean, I don't know. I can't tell exactly. I know a little bit. You know what I mean? Like where I found her, but I don't know where she came from before that. And I would like to reiterate, I'm not one of them weirdos. She doesn't talk to me or anything.
Oh, we've had plenty of weirdos on this platform over the past several months. I've had a couple of them. I will say this much: I don't think you're one of them. I've had some ones that probably shouldn't be in wrestling altogether. You and Loveless do have a lot of wrestling skills because I'm familiar with your guys' work. So that I will definitely get you back on that one. But we actually see some pretty good wrestling in the match. Actually, some pretty good. Let me ask you this for the audience, because obviously people are getting to know you a little bit. We're watching the match. This will be a good way to kind of break the ice. And so, what got you into wrestling for the audience? What made you want to become a pro wrestler?
Well, I mean, I grew up, idolizing. Oh yeah, watching Saturday nights with the old man. Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude. Ric Flair, the entire. Just ever since I was a little kid, and I've always went at it with a passion. And I would always study. Where everybody's putting their hands, how they're lifting everybody up, which is the best, most effective way to slam that guy into the mat. Mm-hmm. So, started with that. And then I met actually Loveless's brother. I think you know about his story.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I was at a better time for a story, and more of the beginning. We started, I want to say, back in 2013. Training under, I want to say it was still Eclipse at the time. And, we went together and we made those travels. We took our road trips and we became real close. Loveless, I didn't really, he wasn't around at those points in time. But,
he was doing the DJ thing. He was like a really successful DJ. He talked about it here. He talked about traveling. He had some moments. He was interviewed. He was on the radio. Like, he was a DJ. He was always a wrestling fan, but he didn't really. So I guess because it's interesting because you knew his brother. I mean, Andrew's been here, and we're watching some of the match here. But did you, years ago, ever say to yourself, Andrew Loveless, from knowing your brother, this guy's I'm going to be in a tag team match with him and wrestle him for a minute? Did you ever see that or no?
No. I won't take away from his skills as a DJ. And then, it's funny because until it was just the other day, we were working on an episode, and he brought out the little mixing board and started playing some of his mixes that I remembered, like, I'd seen this guy once or twice before, and I still didn't put it together. But it wasn't until we were having a conversation just last night. We got stuck in an abandoned. That's a story for another time. I don't want to give away too much of that. But
yeah, I would say I have to be honest. Not to interject you on this platform. If you say something, I'll basically guarantee you that somebody will say, "Hey, what happened there?" Because I had this morning. I had one of my guests from Pennsylvania say something about another wrestler, and the wrestler messaged me on Facebook about it. Now I actually did not say anything negative about that wrestler, but that wrestler shot on that wrestler and basically talked about his skills, leaving the company, his dental hygiene work. And, I had said, well, I happen to be friends with the wrestler. It wasn't my call, but, he did catch it 2.5 days later and did say something about it. So I would say best advice would be, if it's a story you can't say on air, it's probably best to leave it off the air.
Yeah, nah, we don't get into nothing like that. It's just, I don't want to give away future episodes,
Well, definitely don't do that, because we have the first one, which we're going to play here. We are talking with the Hammer, Maxx Strong. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be here with James Taylor, the ROEW owner. I have a big surprise for James Taylor, so that'll be later on, but we're here for the next 60 to 75 minutes with Mr. Strong. I have a lot to talk about, a lot to get into, so looking forward to that. Also, we're watching from our friends over in PWX, one of the premier companies in the independent circuit in Pennsylvania. Over 7,000 plus followers on Facebook. Please go support them. The Hammer is also on Instagram. He's on YouTube. He's on TikTok. I'll pull up his links in a few minutes after the match. And until then, we're talking with him in itself. And okay, so we're looking at Andrew as a performer, and I know you've done a lot of singles stuff. And is there an adjustment for you going from wrestling a singles match to a tag team match? And what's that adjustment like?
Boy, I'll tell you, it's a whole different animal. This is actually only my second tag team match. I
I
don't
knew
usually
that
play
'cause I
well
knew
with
you
others.
really had been a singles guy. That's why I was very curious on that. I've watched some of your work, and I thought that'd be interesting to talk about.
Yeah, I definitely I like to handle things myself. I've always said if you want something done right, you just do it yourself.
Yep.
You know, but I don't know. I seen Loveless and just oh boy, him in the back. I don't, like I said, we'll go with your advice, and we don't want to talk bad about people, but
Well, we could if I mean if it's not incriminating, but
oh, whoa, no. The Hammer doesn't get into anything like that. Jeez.
oh
I don't know
well,
anything about anything like that either, so
okay.
I couldn't. Yeah, even if I wanted to, I couldn't help you, sir.
I
But
see.
I digress. But no, he definitely, you could just tell he needed some kind of assistance. And well, but speaking of assistance, right here, this is nasty. I got
I
that
was
blind
gonna
tag
say that
on him,
was
and
a
we hit
clever,
the
almost.
hammer time clothesline, baby.
I
Woo!
was gonna say almost a little bit of a almost LOD like Legion, Road Warriors Legion of Doom type of move there with that little clothesline off the top rope. Nice clever move there. You get the tag and you clothesline right off the top rope.
And go right in on him like a pit bull. I was
It's
hoping to choke him out, but he's a tough son of a bitch. I'll tell you that much. Mr.
well, he's got
Dakota.
to be tough if he's not tapped out because you're certainly giving him hammer time like offense more or less. You're definitely dropping the hammer on him, and we see there that your elbow hit pretty hard your opponent.
Oh, and we see the manly man slam here too.
Another nice move there. You showed some nice offense there. You showed some nice offense that certainly gets the crowd certainly going one way or another. And Mr. Loveless, for whatever reason, I don't quite. When I watched this, then I didn't get it, and I don't get it now. Why did he just kind of?
Well, that's where I told him to go get the hammer. That's where he was getting in my ear and kind of getting on my nerves a
Well,
little
he
bit.
seemed like he was confused. I'm not quite sure. Was he looking for a turntable that he couldn't mix? I mean, he just seemed lost there. I don't understand what the
He went to try to grab Miley, and well, Miley only, she only hangs out with people that she likes. Apparently, Loveless is not worthy. He must have some kind of doubt. So our job is not done yet. I still have more things to teach him in being a man. I mean, of course, as you can tell, he's still loveless, but he's making progress, and
you want to make him a man when he's probably well past that point of being a man. It's this point. I mean, if you want to make him a man in the ring, I guess that might work for you. I don't know, but yeah,
I'm just trying to teach him to be a better caliber of a man, kind of like that guy who lost my belt at last night's event too, and Sir Godric Sandwell, the gentleman of exquisite caliber.
Now, when do you think you'll find the belt back?
Well, I hope he gets it back real soon, because that helps the Hammer, because I think being Loveless, or we're gonna make a run. There's if you known any of the backstory, the Sons of Mifflin County had relinquished the titles and left them behind. Yes, and they have to have they have to have somebody. So I think we're putting our name in that tournament. But I don't know what plans are at PWX, but I know that they recognize the talent that they had with the Hammer to begin with. My first match in there, after I gave them a little display in a battle royal, that was for the fans really. But my first match there was a three-way dance for the Three Rivers title.
Yes, I did see that. I saw that match on YouTube, and if I'm not mistaken, I know there's a lot of comments, and I'll say hello to everybody in a few minutes off the match. But PWX, if I'm not mistaken, going on 30 years, right?
Yes, 30 years, and that's, I believe, under that, and I think it was ran longer than that under maybe different management. I'm not 100% sure of the backstory. I've only been around for several months, but I pick up what I can. But yeah, at least 30 years.
Well, what's that like wrestling for a company that's had that much of an existence in the greater Pittsburgh wrestling?
I mean,
what's that like?
It was part of the reason why I came to PWX, because that's, a man, what does he look for, in a competitor, well, competition.
Right.
I mean, dude, there's some monsters on the PWX roster, from Vance Strader
Yep.
to Blood Beast, Horsepower. You know, he may be a horse's ass, but God, is he strong as an ox. You know, and just, you know, there's the fastest and the swiftest, the freaking everything. You know, there's everybody in there, including, you know, the weirdos too, but the unorthodox. And you know, I figured that there was definitely a well of all kinds of talent that I could come and, you know, prove myself as a man coming in there too.
It's
So
interesting that you say some of those things, because when you spoke about Mr. Lovelace, if I recall correctly, I think last year, wasn't he in the running for a most improved wrestler of the year candidate?
yes, and you see what happened there too. He failed at that. He was in the running, and then
He didn't win the big one, huh?
yeah, that's my hope. You know, maybe we can take him to that next level.
And you feel with your expertise, your manly like skills, that you would be able to do that. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, that's just using my God-given talents to help others. That's what I do.
That's the kind of man you are, right? That's obviously why you're the Hammer Maxx Strong.
That's why, yep, I am worthy. And go ahead.
Well, you guys are definitely, in terms of ring at least ability, definitely very worthy, because it's actually a pretty good tag team match. I got to be honest. I actually, if I could kind of break the fourth wall for a second, I watch a lot of wrestling. I watch a lot of it. Some of it, I mean, I say it's all wrestling matters on Sportswire, and you know, there's some wrestling, you know, and this was actually pretty good wrestling. I gotta say, this was a nice little tag team match, and kind of a hot crowd on Pittsburgh on a Saturday night, and kind of a hot crowd and a pretty good match, I gotta say.
I gotta say, it was an awesome match, and yeah, the Hammer does get them all fired up. You know, everybody loves the Hammer.
Well,
that's why I'm your old lady's favorite superstar.
But tag team wrestling is not easy to do that, because guys, it's an adjustment. I mean, you know, guys don't wrestle tag team often, and they go into a tag team, and you're in a big environment, and to pull up, okay, it's a really good match. I see a lot of different moves, crowds into it. You guys are going back and forth, feeding off each other. There's some good psychology here. I mean, it's a solid match. Just like I said, legitimately, like I said, there's some matches and some guys that have been on here in the past few months, and it's all wrestling matters. But this is a good match here, and I'm not quite sure what you're doing, but I think you missed there. Why did you do that if you knew you were going to miss? What was the?
I didn't think I was going to miss. The last time I had looked back, and Lovelace was supposed to warn me. He said he was still there, but
then this is what I think. What I thought was most fascinating, I have to pull the tape back up. I know we'll get to the comments. I know people actually do want to talk to you, but I want to come back here, because it looks like here you missed the move, and then you have the referee count, and then Lovelace.
He tried. See what I mean? Right, this is what I'm talking about. Maybe he can extend that and actually get in there, you know?
Well, I was wondering, because when I watched it, I watched it twice before I came on the air, and I just played it twice. So I know I've got comments. There's different people in here. I'll get to them, but
I bet you've seen what I've seen.
Yeah, that match should have continued there, the Hammer Maxx Strong, because Andrew Lovelace, almost like he whiffed. He swung and missed. I mean, he's kind of like right now batters to a Paul Skeen fastball from the Pittsburgh Pirates right now for the Pittsburgh tie-in. I mean, you know, but Pirates could use some more of that. But the point is that he swung and missed. I mean, that match should have continued.
Yeah. Well, even more so. That was that not as good an angle. I wish I could have brought my film with me, but we have a picture that is going to be brought to the PWX officials and the higher ups up there.
I'll play it one more time. I'll come back to it one more time. Let's go.
Yeah, if you look at the tag if you look while I'm going up there, as I'm crawling up, I tagged Lovelace while he was posing to the crowd. He was actually the legal man, but Scotty, or Mr. Magoo, if you want to call him Stevie Wonder, Scotty Wonder, you know,
well, I mean,
apparently didn't see
when
it.
When I looked at that the last time, I don't know if he hit your head or he tried to hit your head, but it still came across awkward.
Yeah. I mean, he's an awkward guy, but to actually, we
Some
have,
people have said that about his appearances on this platform. I disagree, obviously, but this is probably why you don't do tag team wrestling very often, huh, sir?
yeah, because if you can't trust anybody, you gotta look out for number
Well, I don't
one.
know if it's a matter of trusting Andrew Lovelace. I think Andrew Lovelace just
Oh
he
no,
had a
no,
moment that, unfortunately, like a kicker missing a field goal in football, or I think back to the Seattle Seahawks against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl where they could have ran it in. They didn't run it in. And
oh,
unfortunately, it's one of those moments in sports that you wish you could have a do-over. And Andrew Lovelace is definitely going to want a do-over if he wants that do-over.
we are both, like I said, we have unarguable uh, information. We have a picture of myself while I'm climbing up there with my hand on Mr. Lovelace's shoulder. He was the legal man in there, and we are going to fight that and go with that. And then hopefully, if not, we'll have
Now,
some
that
other.
would be something have you given that yet to PWX officials, or is that something you're working on?
Yeah, we are working on that. I do believe my secretary told me Friday that they said they should get back to us once they
You
receive it
don't
and let
seem
us
like a
know.
guy that would have a secretary. I'm surprised you would have a secretary. Now, most people would know that I would probably be able to afford an entire legal department, but I'm rather surprised you would have a secretary. But okay,
Oh
so you'll
yeah,
see it by Friday.
I got my starts in manly man construction business.
I see.
Yeah, so she just we started dating back in those times, and then when I left the company, she came with me. So I
I
guess I
didn't
should.
realize guys that worked with their hands knew a thing or two about what was in the books. But okay,
The
well,
ladies
hold
love
on.
the hammer. We'll leave that at that.
Well, I thought that was LL Cool J, ladies' large lover, Cool J Todd Smith, but that's a different conversation. What I want to get to, though, is first of all, if you'd like to follow Maxx, that's his YouTube channel. He's got a bunch of match content. He's got some other things. If you'd like to support him, support those who support us. I've given him 3 subscriptions from 3 YouTube channels I own, because I own the Sportswire Radio YouTube page, the Promo Wrestling Federation YouTube page, and the Pride Wrestling Federation YouTube page. So go hit the sub button for him. Before I get to the first episode, because I actually do have it, let me get to some comments. There are some people that want to say hello. Let me get to them now. Zilla, who's kind of our resident, I don't know if she's a bot, if she's a person. I don't know what Zilla is at this point, but she's here and she respects you. Thank you, Zilla.
Well, thank you.
Want to say hello to our buddies BTW, who I have coverage for now next Tuesday. Now, it was supposed to be Sunday night, but it's now Tuesday night with Jacob Frost, who's now back with a new Twitter account in addition to he's got an old Instagram account and a new Instagram account. He's going to be here live next Tuesday. The guys had a great show, which I got a chance to watch a few minutes of before I went on the air. So hello to our friends in the great state of Oregon. Yes, we know that you respect him. My buddy Vegas Storm, who is from Future Atlanta Pro Wrestling. The guys are getting ready for their show coming up in August. Stay tuned to their social medias for more details. Thank you very much for that. Andrew Lovelace appears. We'll see if Andrew has some more things to say, because he just has to say his name and he appears. Yes, big respect to him. I got to go break the fourth wall for a second, because a good friend of mine who was in ICU earlier yesterday, there's an update on here. How you doing, Cody? I think we're friends on Facebook now. An update on Dalton Judas, who was here a week and a half ago in your spot. He is from All Legendary Wrestling up the road from you in Marion, Ohio. He was talking, ate breakfast, and went from ICU to outpatient upstairs at Nationwide Hospital. Excellent news.
Good.
Hopefully our clip on Instagram, which hit like 300-something views, even Eddie Exile shared it. A whole bunch of other people were sharing it. Hopefully that helped him. And obviously, Cody, tell Judas that the Reverend Tom Bryce, his friend, is looking forward to him back on Sportswire Radio in 2 weeks with all goes well, which I think it will. And I can't wait to see Judas back in here. Okay, so give me 1 second. Let me get to some comments, and I might have a surprise for you coming up here, Mr. Hammer. Yep.
I don't know if I like surprises coming from you.
Well, on this platform, you get a lot of them. Yoshi Matsuda, my friend, wants to say, who's from the great country of Australia. He is the Wrestling Zero undisputed champion. Says your gear looks so cool. He loves the hammer. And yes, we respect Yoshi Matsu. Yes, and you guys were on the screen because I watched you guys earlier. Yes, thank you for that. And also, Mr. Matsuda would like to say, all the way from Australia, amazing ring work. Glad I've gotten to discover him through here. Well, that's what we do on Sportswire Radio. We try to connect everybody because that's why we are all Wrestling Matters, and that's why I have gotten almost 1,000 subscribers. Want to say hello to one of my buddies out there in the great state of Ohio, Bremen, Ohio. Mr. Dark Cron himself says, evening, fellas. I know he'll be with us at 10:30. I want to speak with a buddy of mine, also from the Pennsylvania independent wrestling scene, not named Andrew Lovelace, but you may or may not know him. His name is Mr. D Savage. He is also from 814 Wrestling. I don't know. Do you know 814 Wrestling?
Yes, I'm familiar. They are actually what became of. I remember I said Eclipse where I first got my official start way back when. I do believe that that's part of the management that has become the 814.
Correct. Yeah, I'm sure D will definitely tell us that, and he'll confirm. He just wrestled also this weekend. He wrestled against his friend, the Power Surge, the Power. Have you met Power Surge at all in the ring? He's like he's got to be like, that would have been a tag team partner for you. The dude is like 400 pounds of like all muscle. He's done weightlifting. He's done conditioning stuff. Yeah, he's like the true definition of like, this guy's probably in better shape than half the WWE roster.
Oh, I need to find this guy. We can make
D Savage definitely. I'll connect you with D Savage when we're off the air. That's an easy one because D Savage is a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a while now. Tell Lovelace to come back to 814, also SOMC. Yes, he's very happy that some pros are on the show finally, because we do have a lot of different types of wrestlers from different places. So yes, we appreciate it.
You're welcome, Savage. You're welcome.
Do you know the Fourth Line Tag Team? They run 880 Wrestling out of Western Pennsylvania. Do you know them?
No, that one isn't familiar to me. I do know the SOMC though.
Yes, so do I. Used to be Eclipse. Okay, all right. So that's good.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so obviously that was out of the way. Now, before I get to a surprise and before I get to the next footage I have, August 31st, we have Meltdown.
That's
How
right.
do we come back from what happened here tonight at Meltdown?
Well, hopefully, I'll point out at 7 o'clock bell time, August 31st, McKeesport, Pennsylvania, 2125 Beacon Street. Be there or regret it.
I always say be square, but close enough.
Yeah. But, yeah, so hopefully our plans is that we get the aforementioned pictures that we have to the right people in there, and they make the right decisions. I don't know if we're definitely trying to enter into that tag team tournament that they got going on for the titles. But we have a special request to face the same people again, and maybe
you want to run it back.
Yeah, run it back and have the right team win this time, without no shenanigans and none of that. And
But after what you just said about Andrew Lovelace, I'm surprised you want to go back into a tag team match so soon with him.
Well, I mean, he's you've seen his his work in the ring.
I have seen a lot of his, and he's been a tag team champion before in other promotions. I mean, he's had, as a tag team wrestler, he's had some pretty good success. Yeah.
And so maybe, it's not all one-sided. Maybe I'm not teaching him everything. Maybe he's got a thing or two to teach you, Hammer.
So maybe he could teach you something in the realm of tag team wrestling, and that's why you're going to run this back here one more time.
Oh yeah. And we're going to hit the training facility over and over, and that's our main focus. Like we went out there going ready for a singles match, and we were about to blow the house down with one of the greatest matches ever seen, and we didn't even get that chance. So at least this time we get to prepare. We know we're coming into a tag team match, and so we're going to work on some tandem offense and just hone those skills and kind of work as more of a cohesive unit next time, because we'll be ready for it.
And a short turnaround, maybe in a short turnaround, it helps you a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, because you still got that fuel in your belly from the fire. It makes you angry when you feel you've been robbed.
I could see that now. Obviously, I have a surprise for you before I pull the debut episode.
Oh, strippers! I didn't know it was my birthday.
No, we don't do that here. It's a family
Oh,
station.
oh,
Kids. That
oh,
might
oh,
be if you
excuse
go
me.
on other podcasts. I think or is Andrew's supposed to go on another one on Facebook. Maybe you can go and try that with them. But this is a different one because we're in prime time. But I do have a guest, and I am at liberty. I have to bring the guest up because the guest is actually somebody that you have been in the ring with and you've tag team with, and that is
this
Max
guy.
Smith.
This
And there
guy.
he is.
Tommy.
You're gonna take away
Tom
my
Tom.
time now. Don't I have to carry him around up more? What's up, Loveless? How you
Hello.
doing, buddy?
You.
Well, he's here, and it's a good time because I'm about to pull up the debut episode of something because I think it's kind of the perfect timing. So I'm going to do that here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
you just join the rest of them and sit down and shut up, Loveless.
So I'm going to pull
Hey,
this up.
you.
I'm going to go like this.
Now that's some entrance music right there.
Let's have a groove.
Hammer here on location for the inaugural episode 1 of How to Be a Man with Maxx Strong. Now I'm here with Loveless. Loveless, where are you? What? Loveless, are you in there? What are you? That's not the. Get out of one of these rooms. You don't
You
belong
see what I'm
there.
talking about? Like it's this kind of stuff in the back that we need to fix.
Well, I wouldn't know.
I imagine you get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing to
So,
say about his work in the
let's
ring.
get this
He's
straight.
definitely
Today's
a
episode,
general in there, but it's
bathroom
the
etiquette.
rest of it, just quit being a
So we're here in
creep.
the men's room.
I'm gonna teach you, boy.
What are you so excited about?
Stick around.
Stop it, really. No. See, we keep doing this. This is why we're having this show. You see why I need to do this? So, as much as I hate saying this, let's get in here. Now, lesson number 1 is when you come into a place like this, never touch anything. Well, which includes, if you'll follow me, you see this here? You don't want to touch your hammer on that, but you got to get back. And how you flush it? Foot, right there. That's how a man flushes a public toilet. Now.
That's a PSA for all you out there.
Where you do leave your excrement. You do not use the sinks. Jeez, I know, I took too much stuff in here. Damn, we need to hurry this up. So, no, that's not blood, that's soap. So, yeah,
It might have been blood.
It might have been. I think
Well,
it was.
All right, so
Riveting TV. I obviously
Touch with
look
your
forward
foot.
to future episodes.
Leave one gap in the urinal and never look at any hammers while you're in the my own. Not even your own. We stay away. And let's see, everybody. Get the spacing on the urinals. Okay. So, episode 1. Yeah. Did you learn anything today, Loveless?
A few things.
A few things.
I need to wash my hands more.
Yes. You wash your hands. Let's get out of here. Episode 1.
Yes,
in the
please
back.
wash your hands.
I'm on
The audience out
here.
there, wash your hands no matter where you go.
Out.
That's right.
I had to disinfect my gear. It took a week.
I'm not ready. Smart man.
Yeah, he was terrible. I had to take care of him. He was laying on my couch for the entire week.
You
Ugh.
can take this off.
It was dirty.
So
It's a good thing we don't have any film of that, let me tell you.
now I hope each episode won't be bathroom instances. We'll have different.
No. We have all different kinds of, aspects. And they're not all just for Loveless. They're for everyone out there, just little tips, little hints, just to make the world a better place through manliness.
Maybe that'll help us going into August 31st, right, at Meltdown?
That's
And
right.
back.
That's right. Yep. But we're going to definitely have another lesson. When is school in session? Quit being weird. Stop it. When is school in session, Loveless?
I was
August
washing my hands.
31st. I mean,
I
that's
did today.
that week after Labor Day. For those in the Northeast, that's when school starts. So maybe he's getting ready to go back to school. But, I want to ask you something, Andrew, because we were watching the match with yourself and the Hammer, and it looked like you had attempted to try to break up the pinfall, and you kind of swung and missed there. I mean, do you want to comment on that for the audience? Obviously, I know.
I tripped over the rope. The rope came out of nowhere on me.
I mean, it looked like there was a clear attempt to actually break the pin up, but you kind of flubbed. It was almost, I guess, like a kicker missing a field goal in football.
I tripped on the rope, but also technically I was the legal man because he did tag me on the way up to the moonsault.
And we have photo evidence.
And
Yep.
we don't know, though, the ruling yet from management PWX on this, right? We won't know that until, if at all. I mean,
We got a justifiable case.
Do we have that picture? We can
pull the tape back up. So we'll pull the tape back up for Andrew. We'll let him get the perspective on it. Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta go come way back in here. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this.
Oh, no, heaven knows about going all the way in there.
I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go like this. And then I want to pull the screen a little bit further up. Okay, so let's come back right around here. I think we're getting close to the moment. Okay, so
yes, this is right as I'm going up for my moonsault. I don't see. He started saying something to me. He was confusing me, but he came over, and there was a
right.
Wasn't it there? But up here, you see here, my hand. Oh, I'm blocking in the way. But right there, I'm using. He's there. We made that tag.
I don't know if I saw the tag then. I don't know if I see it now, but
I know if we had somebody besides Mr. Magoo in there,
that's going to be a matter of this PWF have a different angle. I mean, but what
besides video evidence, I have a photo.
That angle was that match should have continued, and it seemed like a legitimate flub. It just seemed a legitimate. Unfortunately, like one of those in sports. I keep bringing up the sports analogy throughout the conversation, but it's a swing and miss, unfortunately. It's just and you're dejected because you know that match should have continued, and you guys actually controlled that match. I would say for most of the match, you guys were in firm control.
We were a dominating force.
I said, yeah, you guys were in firm control, and D Savage wanted to say it looks kind of like you landed on your head a little bit.
You know, but sometimes you're wearing a hard hat, sometimes you're not. It ain't the first time the hammer's been hit on the head.
I'm friends with a guy who's on TikTok whose name is Hard Hat Andy. He's Hard Hat Andy, and he's somebody I've known, I don't know how long now, 15 years, and he found me on TikTok after, I don't think I've seen him in 6 or 7 years, but that's a different conversation for a different time. But
he sounds like an interesting guy.
Well, he kind of reminds me of you in some ways, but the point is that not about that. It's a matter of, I mean, it's going to come. I don't know what management will do, but it's very rare in wrestling that management overturns a decision, especially days afterwards. I mean,
we're not looking to get a decision overturned, and we're not even sure. Like I said, we have a photo of the tag. And then, I don't know what happened there but there's definitely, it's not the first time they've had controversy with Scotty either. I wanted him checked into, but really, all I want is a chance to get retribution. I feel like we were cheated, we were robbed, like a certain actual president who didn't, we won't go there either, but, we feel the same as he did, and we just want our country back.
Off the air, I might be able to give you an opinion on that. You might be surprised on that. You might like it, might not. I don't know. But this coming to the match, let's talk about that. And for the audience,
that's what's important.
The only thing I could say to maybe give you guys something to maybe go and hang your hats on is that it's crack at it. And still, for the most part in that match, firm control, and you unfortunately missed the break. Was there a tag? That's going to be up to the video. Another angle. On that angle, it's unclear. It's unclear. It's not conclusive. That's going to be up to PWX on what they decide. But you gotta just basically forget about this. Go back out there and Meltdown. It's, some would say, the last weekend of the summer or last weekend of the summer before Labor Day, and you guys got to go out there and find a way. You guys got to go find a way to get a win and get yourselves in line to being a champion. And you've held gold before, Andrew Lovelace. You've been a tag team champion, so you know how this
I have.
goes.
Yes. My favorite part of the match, I got to touch the hammer.
Yeah. Whoa. Careful, bud. Careful.
But the video might not show proof, but I do have a photo.
And that photo.
But anyway, that is our original. That's our plan A. We always got a plan B. Plan B is to go out there and if it's not the team we want, we hope that they make it farther into the tournament, because we'll see them again, one way or another. But it doesn't matter who they put in front of us. We're still going to come with that same intensity, and I mean, we're going to have to. No matter who they put in front of us, there's no.
Listen, I mean, like I said, to me, and I say this in the analogy all the time, we're here with the Hammer, Maxx Strong, and the Be-All End-All, Andrew Lovelace. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. At 10:30 p.m., ROEW owner James Taylor will speak on some other controversial outcomes similar
I
to
hope
this.
he sings that hit.
I like that guy.
That song. I like
Which
that
one?
song he sings.
Which
What
one?
was it?
James Taylor.
All
Yeah,
right,
I like
so
that.
that's a different. That's the folk singer. But the point is, I'm here with Maxx Strong and
yeah.
Andrew Lovelace. So back to this, because that's the more important part. James Taylor will sing his tunes at 10:30. You guys are singing here for the next 25 minutes or so. But here's what it comes down to. It's just like in sports. It's a quick turnaround. You have to forget about what happened, and you've got to use what happened to fuel you guys to have a big year. Because I would think, for you guys, goals for 2024 would be getting some gold, and especially in a company like PWX.
Yes,
Guys
that
are on PWX Gold.
And also, I have a
Absolutely.
question from D Savage. Do they have open spots?
do they have open spots?
We're
Well,
always looking.
yes, I believe it's a possibility. If you're manly enough to make it there.
We're
Hammer
making
proved
there.
himself. Well, I'll tell you what. I can't even say that because Lovelace is there. He's managed to
How dare you, sir?
squeeze his way in there.
You need him to have success on Meltdown. I mean,
That's right.
I mean, and we will. We can be a cohesive unit, but he knows who Daddy is.
I'm
well,
talking
you're
that.
gonna have to figure that out. As for that question, D Savage, they're on Facebook at PWX Wrestling. They're on Instagram. Check them out. These guys you can use them as a reference, and we'll
Pro
see what
Wrestling
happens.
Express.
We'll see what happens. But I mean, do you equate it also to the fact that, I don't know, maybe just you guys hadn't been a tag team yet together? Maybe on the 31st, because you'll have had this one match together, you guys will have a little more chemistry going in, and the results will be better, where you won't even have to worry about putting yourselves in the position that you were in, because the position that you were in was really a position you shouldn't have been in, because you guys were in control of that match for most of the way.
That's right.
Oh yeah, we were the dominant force for sure. But yeah, I mean, whatever crazy group up that they put in front of us, there's some nastiness going on. That Church of Wayne, they're a bunch of tough assholes, and then there's the Day of Reckoning. I hate that word for my whole other personal reasons. I've been through the asylum. I've definitely made it through the craziness and the insanity and the torture, and I don't want to go through that again. So I want to stay away from that Day of Reckoning. Hopefully they get knocked out by somebody else. I'll say that much.
Well, we'll find out. Time will tell. Let me ask you guys each this question in a different way. Andrew, I know you've done a lot of tag team wrestling, so this is something that you are very comfortable in. But for you, the Hammer, I mean, you said this is only your second tag team match in your career. You've been doing this for a while. You've wrestled also in a few different spots in the Northeast. So
Up and down the East Coast, yes.
yeah. So do you take a match like this and maybe watch more of the tape to get yourself adjusted? Do you talk, even though you may not want to so much, but do you talk with Andrew about how you're going to make that adjustment to be able to get into tag team wrestling and add for some more successful results?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to, make some decisions myself as well. But I don't know. I don't doubt anything that I've ever done, and I always, I'm just used to going in there and taking charge myself. It is definitely weird having another person there. So yeah, I guess I can agree to put more focus onto what Mr. Loveless is doing while he's in there, and not just myself.
And you're
So
shaking your head, Andrew. Why?
I think he just needs to focus on himself, and I focus on me, and everything will melt together. That's what happened with my last tag team.
Do you mean to say that, let's say, Mr. Strong has not been so strong in PWX recently because he hasn't focused on himself? Is that what you're saying? What are you trying to say?
No. I think it's new ground, and he's still finding himself.
you see, this is the kind of stuff that
He was the one that had been the man already, and he was telling everybody in that first episode we saw on how to be a man. But you're saying that he still hasn't really, to quote you too, he still hasn't found what he's looking for.
He's new to the territory, so I think he's coming in with a good template, and he's got a mold to the new company.
today, Junior.
Hey.
So what I think what Maxx, Mr. Loveless is saying is that maybe it's the other way around in this team. Maybe it's the other way around.
So I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't know if I can. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'm a man who loves a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I'll tell you what. I'll give you two things. Two things, Loveless. Number one, you can take control in the next tag team match. You can guide us, all right, and see if we do any better. And that the man can admit when he's wrong, and I took that pin. We had agreed at one point in time, even though, if we ever did get there, that the first one to take a loss would be giving up the ability to name the team to the other one. So I'm a man of my word. So Loveless, what's our team name? Maybe that's the first thing we need in order to become a better cohesive unit. What's our name?
Are you ready for this?
That's why I asked.
It's going to be Peanut Butter and Jealous.
Yeah, that's gonna really lead to a
Peanut
meltdown.
Butter and Jealous, huh?
August 31st.
Yep.
I'll tell you what,
Yep.
that's gonna definitely lead to a meltdown coming up. That's gonna really melt.
What have I done?
Ooh, melted peanut butter. Yum.
I do love some peanut butter.
Maybe you guys should have like a contest or something and let maybe your fans name the team. Maybe that.
Maybe let the fans decide whether we're Peanut Butter and Jealous or the Hammer Brothers.
I don't know.
That is the Hammer to me.
I don't know if that exactly rings off the tongue either. But Savage wants to say stuff like this happens when you're a team. You just got to kiss and make up, laughing my ass.
Oh, D Savage. I thought we were becoming business partners, but you think you just put your foot in your mouth. Now we got to go some quick.
Well, he's a big guy too, actually, in his own right. He's a pretty big guy with like a lot of tattoos and a man bun. So he's another guy you don't want to get.
A man bun.
A man bun. Even Loveless knows that nobody wants to rock a man bun.
No, but this
Even
guy.
I'm more of a man to not have a man bun.
He's got like 30 tattoos on his body, and he looks like he could definitely rock the man bun because he's pretty.
I support the tattoos, but man bun, he's making poor decisions in life.
Maybe we need to teach this guy how to be a man, Loveless.
Well, Mr. Savage said we're about to make money. What is going to happen?
I bet big things when the Hammer's involved. I'll tell you that much. But I'm not sure what he's talking about. We might have to, talk to him. Let's see what I'm intrigued. I like money.
Let's take him under the wing.
Right on with the other little birdies.
I'll send you his info when we're off the air.
All right. Yeah, we'll speak. We'll speak with Mr. Savage. Like I said, I like money.
But his partner, though, just to let you know, his partner is that guy Power Surge, and I would just, sir, with all due respect, that Power Surge guy is like he's as big as the two of yous combined.
Yeah, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
This guy, though, I'm telling you, for whatever reason, there aren't too many people on this platform. Like, okay, yes, sir, and he's one of the few people. It'll be yes, sir, yes, Mr. Power Surge. But if you want to follow,
How big are we
Mr.
talking?
He's like, I mean, I could put a picture up on the screen if D Savage wants me to. I could put a picture up of Power Surge.
I can tell you, he's not as big as Loveless's ego. That's for sure.
That's true.
No, I think he's way bigger than Andrew Lovelace's ego. Way bigger than that. Way, way, way bigger than that. But that's in the meantime, Mr. Strong's Instagram. Check him out there. He's got a lot of different things you can check out. Andrew's also on Instagram. If you want to check him out on TikTok, he's also on TikTok here. He's got a bunch of TikTok stuff. Joe Bauer 420. Also, the match that was supposed to have been was turned into a tag team match, and obviously we'll take that because of the copyright points. But Abby's laughing. But that's his Instagram. I'll connect you guys regardless. But I just know for your sake that August 31st is coming, and hopefully you guys get together and do well. I want to say hello to my friend, Mr. Omen Black. He's the boogeyman of the Midwest. He's a hardcore god. It is his show. He says, "What's up with Thor's hammer? You're not worthy to hold that hammer whatsoever." That's what he wants to say.
Now, hold on, sir.
Oh, man.
Maxx's hammer. This is Miley Cyrus. All right, has nothing to do with that weirdo that wears curtains.
Yeah, weirdo.
All right, this may be made of the same kind of material, but this is not Thor's hammer. This is the hammer's hammer. Get it right, Mr. Black. Of course you would say something like that from halfway across the country.
He's in Iowa, which isn't quite too far from you, right? Iowa.
I mean, Iowa's a nice place to visit, Mr. Black. I heard the weather's very nice over there.
He said, "What material? Plastic?"
This is Uru, sir. Yeah, you're not gonna get the hammer on that one. You got to wake up a little bit earlier to pull one over on the hammer, because it's always
Well, Pennsylvania.
hammer time.
Yes, we see that. Yes, we see
Hey, didn't Dakota Orion put one over on you?
Put one what?
Didn't he pull one over on you this weekend? He got a pinfall on you, didn't he?
I wasn't even a legal man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Seems to
You weren't, but the match.
Iowa is a place never to go to.
You're right.
I would say that that's not true, but he does love the great state of Pennsylvania, which I have.
Hey, I can't agree with that. I can't disagree with that. Pennsylvania is a great state to live in.
Yeah, listen,
if you're a piece of trash.
Well, I love all 50 states because I have listeners in all 50 states. So I have to be honest. I love 50 states and many countries around the world, but that doesn't have to be you, gentlemen. But I guess we'll find out what happens here. So maybe this will all change on August 31st. And when will we see more episodes of How to Be a Man? Do you think we'll see more soon or before August 31st?
Well, we were had production going on, but with them changing our plans and throwing us in this tag team match, kind of set some stuff back, But I'll still we're still going to be pumping out the content. I do believe in 2 weeks we do have the episode 2 still. We don't know.
Will that be before Meltdown or after Meltdown?
I think right before Meltdown we'll put out episode 2, but then we'll have to see what Meltdown brings to see if it continues on after there,
Hey, Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Nice shirt.
I didn't have
I noticed that earlier. I was going to let it go, but I wasn't going to point that out.
It's funny when I made the announcement, because I know you were doing like 100 different types of announcements. The way I do things is a little different because people forget when you announce it as many times as you did. Let me announce it a few hours prior, although I taped the video earlier in the day. Let me put on an Andrew Lovelace shirt on for the irony of having you on. I thought that would be kind of a clever thing. It seemed to work on Instagram. I got a lot of views on Instagram for it. But
like a unicorn.
And he's a wise guy, eh?
Well, I'll be changing into my other uniform in a little while. But the point is I also did it on TikTok as well. And he wants to know how you're doing. It's good to see you. Yes, was very happy to see you, Andrew. And we're all happy about that. Yoshi Matsuda is doing a video on Instagram talking about you, I see, which is great. Well, I guess then How to Be a Man will be video number 2 will be released before Meltdown. And
Yes,
maybe
yes.
you
Expect that in
guys
about 2
together.
weeks, I would say. We're probably going to put out every 2 weeks if, if I don't lose Loveless to, who knows, candy store and
Oh, so
never
you
come
don't
back,
want to lose
I
him
might
then
get
after.
lost in the woods. Anything could happen. You
You
never
don't
know.
wanna lose him. You don't.
You
You
in the
don't.
woods without
You
the
don't.
hammer.
You don't want to lose him then. It sounds. I thought before you were like not so sure, but now you don't want to lose him as a tag team partner, huh?
I mean,
Oh,
like I said, I
love
can't
you.
disagree with his in-ring work, so a man's got to
Well,
make
listen,
decisions,
from an in-ring perspective, that was a really good match. I think there's a lot of positives from what you guys bring to the table. I see a little bit of a technical style. I see a little bit of physical work. I see some psychology. I see the potential there that you guys could be a team that could be formidable. It's a matter of putting it all together. You guys have only had one match so far, so maybe you guys run it back, see what happens, and kind of go from there. I mean, that's probably much the best way I could say, to give something to look forward to. I mean,
Maximus, am I growing on you?
I don't hate you. All right, I don't hate you.
Hey, it's a win. I'll take it. Ha ha.
and D Savage, he agrees with what I said. It was a good match. Yeah, it was a very good match. I mean, it looked like a really good match, and I think that's what it was. It was a
I'm
good
not gonna
match.
lie. I had a scare in that match.
A pregnancy scare? Who was it? Was it that lady in the front row?
That was the
It
movie.
was that dirty big girl.
Danny DeVito.
Real dirty big girl with 3 teeth.
I don't.
I'll pull the tape up. Let's see.
I don't think I could find one with more than 2 teeth. I think. Are you sure we were in McKeesport?
I'll try to find it.
It could be 90% of Pennsylvania. Let's be honest.
I mean,
Well, I wouldn't know about that, but let's see where we
Count
can
your
find
blessings.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Here's the video. Okay, I'm gonna.
I feel like I've been on this show long enough that I'm a real celebrity, so it's time for the glasses.
Well, you are on a platform that has again almost 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay,
That's
so
right. The brightest light.
So there's a
biggest
certain
thing.
moon right before he goes up for the moonsault where I tag out.
Okay, let's go maybe around here at some point.
Oh, did you see that? That was a brilliant kick out. I waited till the last second to conserve as much energy as I could. That's what a man does.
Okay, so I hit the express, and then the air raid crash, and it's right after the air raid. So it'll be coming right up.
Oh, it's after the vertebraker.
That is the vertebraker, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here, oh, look at that.
So here's the air raid, and then here's where I'm going to set up for it. I tell you one more.
I know. If you would have just gave it over to me, we probably would have won this. I was trying to tell you, but you don't listen. This is where we have problems. I got my work cut out for me, but I ain't gonna give up.
Nice move, though. By the way,
Oh,
D Savage is absolutely right. This was I said it already. It's a really good match, but okay, let's see where we can find it because again the angle.
Yeah, that was it because I turned around and I thought I hospitalized the kid.
Well, obviously, I don't know what the woman would do.
Yeah, what he's talking about here is where I'm gonna hit him. Well, with just a slam here. I just caught him up. I don't know what he was trying to do to me, but I wasn't letting that happen. Now, while I'm climbing up here, I make a tag on Mr. Loveless's shoulder.
Yeah.
We have a clear picture of it from the other angle. I wish we had the other camera angle, but yeah, you'll see it.
Cameraman didn't do so good of a job.
Yeah, Scotty should be in his job in there. It's not your job to find this, but yeah, if you look here, right after here, he's going to turn around, and there I go. I tag him on the shoulder. See, you can't see it from this angle. Of course it would be that angle, but I tag him on the shoulder there, and then last time I looked, he was way back there. I don't know where he got up from there, but geez, that was nasty. That was nasty. But,
even the referee got a man bun. What is going on with today's society?
I gotta be honest. I've never really done the man bun, but I guess it's 2024. It's 2024 now. So
You still got the best chops in the game.
I don't know about that, but D Savage said the pro guys don't get the love that they deserve. Well, they're here right now. Yeah, and yesterday we had Will from Total Effing Chaos. I mean, we have, we try to give everybody a crack. Will was in the house, Hardcore, and all those guys out there, and they've been a part of, Carnage Cup, and they were mixing up with Sabu and Sandman, and we've got the guys here. I mean, we're definitely, we give everybody a crack. We're all Wrestling Matters, but D Savage,
That's right. All wrestling matters.
yes, and I think there's no other platform that does that. Don't worry, I got you all. He said the man bun is lit. And he's only had the man bun in the last 2 months maybe. He's had the man bun so it's really recent. He's had the man bun recently. See, it's
So he was respectable up until that point.
Wait a minute. How do you make a man bun lit? Are you bejaveling it?
Do we need fire?
You think he's smoking a joint on the top of it?
It's got to be something. Is he dipping it in glitter?
I ain't him. I ain't his style. He ain't a glitter guy. He's too much of a boss.
Glitters are the rave herpes of the world. Remember that.
I'm gonna say I know nothing about that. Move on. No comment. But I'm gonna
see that's what I mean. Like he says things like this, and you just.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I mean, listen. Obviously, we want to see what you guys bring to the table next month here on the platform. We'll see what you guys bring. And is there any other dates we're going to see you? So just for now, August 31st on Meltdown coming up here from PWX. Anything else upcoming for you guys before we meet again?
Yeah. So August 24th, APWF.
Oh, yes.
Doing the seminar with Bill Collier.
Oh, yes. I heard of Bill Collier. Yes.
Yeah. So getting more education, baby.
Are you taking Mr. Hammer with you to the seminar?
Absolutely.
Oh, he's
That
going.
is correct. That is correct. I mean, even the Hammer can learn things from other manly men. And Bill Collier.
Trust me, I need to learn a lot more. I mean, I should be learning much more. If you want to follow Andrew, that's actually his Instagram. So, but I'll connect D Savage to both of you guys because he's on the Pennsylvania Independent Circuit. In fact,
and anybody watching this stream, check out Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. They're a really good company. They just started back up.
Oh, yes. Check out PWX as well.
And PWX as well. Absolutely.
Well, PWX we've been plugging throughout the evening for sure. And if you want to get in touch, and I'll connect D Savage to you guys because I feel like you guys probably run in the same lanes. You guys probably know some of the same people. So we'll see about how that all unfolds. I mean, anything else you guys want to share for the US? I mean, we watched How to Be a Man. We've gone over this match. We've talked about Meltdown. I mean, we've gotten a chance to know the Hammer a little bit and the origins of him. I mean, we pretty much, I don't know, we've kind of run the gauntlet in a way. I don't know what else would you like. Is there something you're missing for the audience, Mr. Hammer, that you want to strong arm us into? And you've talked about, obviously, what's ahead. You've talked about Miley. You've talked about maybe now you need Andrew as a tag partner. You've talked about things being different. We played the first episode. We played the most recent match. And, we kind of have an idea of what's to come, I think.
Yeah. I think we got a good idea what's to come. The explosions that are happening all around. I'm used to that kind of stuff. It's nothing new here. But, I feel like it's my time to give back. So whether we're winning, whether we're losing, I feel like, it's my mission in life to take this weirdo under my wing and not give up until he is a better man, a better member of society, a more productive, a more winning.
That would be for the two of you, though.
Or to shorten this, David, until we're PWX Tag Team Champions.
Well, that would be the better line that the two of you could agree on. Yes, to have you guys... Oscar and Felix of tag team wrestling could hold some gold. Yes, the Oscar and Felix could certainly
Oscar and Felix.
Yes,
I like that. I like that. The odd couple. That is not our name.
Pretty much that. And then we've seen sometimes in wrestling it works. We've seen it happen before. Odd couples have won gold, and maybe that's to be. Maybe that's to come starting August the 31st. PWX Meltdown. Go to PWX Wrestling. It's PWX then space wrestling on Facebook. Also check them out on Instagram. That's Andrew's page on Instagram. Andrew's been here several times in the past. You're going to see these guys on here next month. Also, if you want to see the Hammer and what he's off to, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, check them out. These guys are going to be in action. Also, seminar is on August 24th, which is next Saturday. And boy, time flies. I feel like summer was just starting, and now we're like almost 2/3 through summer. So, but we still got another month to go. Yeah, well, you know what? But we still got September's a good month weather-wise. October, can still get some good days, and I think there's a lot of good days. I think good days are ahead for this tag team. We'll also have to find out. Episode 2 is going to be coming out before Meltdown, and we'll have to see what the official tag team name is. So there's a lot ahead with these guys. They're going to be in action. It is the Hammer, Maxx Strong, and the be-all, end-all, Andrew Lovelace. And for now, we'll find out what it is. And any closing thoughts you have, guys, for us before we say goodbye for now?
Yeah, I have one last closing thing. Is we got many things over at Collective Productions that is going on. That's the studios where we have the Maxx studio, which looks exactly like my room. They did good, but yeah, we got a lot of other shows working on, and one of them we're working on. I can't really tell you much about it.
Don't do it here on this platform, because we actually had a wrestler a couple of weeks ago come on and tell everybody that, hey, I'm going to be a world champion, and his match didn't air till 3 days later. So you don't want to do that on this platform here. No. I'm working on television programs. I'm actually going to be asking for them. It's just a concept for right now, but if we get enough in there, I want to see you guys pranking your buddies, maybe fellow wrestlers, anybody who's out there listening. Just send me in your pranks, and then we're going to put it together. Like I said, we get enough response. I'll connect you with D and Power Search. You're going to get 2 off the bat, and I'll connect you with Matsuda. So you're going to have 3. You have 3 tonight. You got 3.
There you go. And that's not even open to wrestlers. That's open to everybody. Prank your friends, and we're going to pick.
Savage saw you, and by proxy, you're getting Surge, because Savage and Surge are a tag team. So you're going to get 3. So that's three's pretty good.
That's another hat trick.
And hockey season's coming, and maybe the Penguins will make the playoffs for those Penguin fans out there.
Am I the only one that thinks about the Surge energy drinks from the 1990s every time I hear that name?
When you
I know
see
he
this
leaves
guy,
just as bad a taste in my mouth as that does.
Well,
we need to
when
find
you
this
see
guy.
this guy, though, you might want a couple of energy drinks, because then you'll see him in the ring, like, oh, bro, he's really that big. I'm telling you, when you see him, we'll talk about it I'll show you. He'll connect you, D Savage, and you'll see how big he is. But definitely, I'm sure we'll see more of that, fellas. This was interesting. It was a lot of fun. We got a chance to meet the Hammer. We got to see Andrew Lovelace back again. I'm sure we'll do this again next month, and we'll see what happens at Meltdown. And maybe you guys will this time be on the other side of victory rather than the jaws of defeat. And we'll see what PWX management has to say. And fellas, thank you so much. And looking forward to seeing what happens here real soon.
Well, only time will tell.
That's it. Time will tell. And also, D Savage says peace. He says peace out to you guys.
Peace out, D Savage.
We'll connect.
Let them know what time it is.
It's Hammer time. Well, it's actually 9:20, but it's Hammer time. Yes.
I'm on time.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the new tag team in PWX. That is the be-all, end-all, Andrew Lovelace, and also the Hammer, Maxx Strong. They'll be in action one more time, August the 31st at PWX Meltdown. If you want to follow also the Hammer on YouTube, go hit the sub button for him. You want to watch the match, you can watch it. A lot of people have already watched the match, right? It's almost upwards to 100 views. He's got some extra subscribers off tonight's interview. So if you're out there, hit the sub button.
Thank you.
The Hammer. What's that?
I said thank you. I appreciate all the subs out there.
We're getting you.
And I'll keep the hits coming out for you.
Looking forward to it. You can tag me in all that stuff. I'll share it with everybody on my pages, and look forward to more of that. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you're on sportswireradio.org, you're going to go back to some music for a little while until I come back on the air. Same for you on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and Also on the PWF YouTube pages, on Promo Wrestling Federation, Pride Wrestling Federation. I'll be back here in like 75 or 80 or so minutes. But until then, thank you, everybody. And remember, support these guys here. They are out there for the true love of the sport. And they put their blood, sweat, and tears out there. And it's because it's all